Morning. I might make just videos and I'll just see whether I put them up or not. But anyway, down here this morning, I was hoping I was going to have enough diesel in the heater to fire it up for a while, and it's actually below freezing. But my fucking hands are that cold, and it's just not quite enough diesel in that to spark it up for even half an hour or so, which will just take the temp off. I can double check my bank account, but I don't think there's fuck all need to buy anything. Otherwise I'd go buy, 4 gallons of diesel, or 20 litres of diesel, or whatever, and pour it in it and spark it up. But so yeah, well, I'm just in one of those moods. I'm just going to go home for a while, let the fucking sun come up for a while, try and get a bit of heat and come up, and then I'll come back later on. Right, I'll try that again. That was weird. My phone kept freezing. I might try and make a video on. I've got a big long body file thing at Mum and Dad's. I don't think I bought it here. I made it years ago for sanding out longer, flatter panels. I'm just trying to get these flat from where I've done some repairs and bits and pieces. This one here had a patch. We put on it 3 years ago. That one there, I did a patch the other day, and it pulled down a little bit on me too, so I've had to skim through the centre of it. And I was fighting with the Evercoat, so I've switched back to that just to see. I was really battling to get it to go off on top without just destroying paper. Once you got the top off, it was okay, but because it's cold, I just want to see how that performs when it is really cold. It's like it's only a couple of degrees C here at the moment. Hence I've had, when the sun was poking through the doors, I had the panels and the doors in the sun. But I'm just struggling to get the flatness in here, because this isn't really quite, it is but it's not, and I just want to see if I can get that, see if I can find that big long body file that I made. It's just a bit of timber that way and a bit of timber that way, and I shaped a handle on it. So I think I just might put a bit of net on it, and I think I got my staple gun over there. Put a couple of staples in it, one end, and then pull it tight and round, and a couple of staples at the other end. It's about double that length, I think. I'll just run it through the panels, and that should get them flat. I've still got to do a wee to do in this one. Not a lot. I've run out of places to put body fill the other day, and I put it on here without putting any etch in it, but that is what it is. It won't hurt, it's just I don't like doing it when the panels are really cold. It wasn't too bad the other day when I put it in, but it's not ideal. It's not something I like doing. It's one of those things, it's sort of only 50-50 sort of things. So I've got to knock that off. This one here is alright, but I might run that big long file over it too. I don't think I got it here. Righty. So, it's the next day. I'm not sure. I've got a wee bit of footage on the phone. Having internet issues. Our internet's completely dropped out. It's still connected. They sent us another router thinking maybe something that had died, that it wasn't allowing us to connect properly or something. But no, it's weird. I'll have to give them another phone call at lunchtime, hopefully like they're all fucking for another 2 or 3 hours trying to work out what the hell's going on. They're doing the actual line people are doing some investigation to try and work out what's going on, because it's connected at home. We can see it's connected, but it says limited services, so it's like it's turned off, but it's not turned off. It's really strange. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, got this really long body file that I made years ago. It's got some old paper on it at the moment, I might screw a bit of that net onto it. I've just actually got a couple of blocks on each end to screw down to hold whatever you want to hold. I made this years ago for just doing big long flat stuff. And when I was doing this yesterday, when I was working across it, I couldn't work out whether this piece here was, whether it was low in here or whether this is just high. Got that feel to me that it could be high, but it's hard to tell. So I thought, well, I'll go get my longest block that was sitting around the dad's that I don't really use, but it's the odd occasion where I might just have a bit much body filler on here, but it's kind of hard to tell, you know what I mean? Because there was still some low spots in the middle from when I was putting body filler on it. So it was playing tricks on me. So I might just throw a wee bit of etch over this so I can see what's not touching with this big long block, and I'll put some of that net on it. Oh, and I might just do it with what's on it for a start off, just to get a gauge, and I won't have to worry about it. I guess I'm telling you where I'm at. Fairly tired this long block now. It looks like I've got a bonnet to paint. A brand new one. Yeah, I got a brand new Toyota Hilux bonnet to paint over there for an early 90s Hilux that normally parks out there. They packed his tractor into it and stuffed all the bonnet and grill and stuff. I'm not sure how much other damage is on it, but yeah. But yeah, I need some heat to paint that. And we'll have to go see get some paint and whatever, but yeah. Apply a couple of coats of highballed over it, I guess, and see how it looks. Give it a, I have to get off, I think I have to get all that black shit off too, don't you? And to be honest, I haven't dealt with many brand new panels like that. So yeah, got that to do too at some point. The next day or two. All over there. I don't know whether it's panel or just trying to work out whether we're still high in the middle. Hard to tell. There will be a bit of gentle shape in the panel that way. Take a bit off it. May have to skim it through here because it's shining in here. But yeah, I thought we might have got this to at least start blending across, but it hasn't yet. We'll go a wee bit further. Right, there you go, guys. So I'm still doing bodywork on these doors. It's been really slow because it's been cold, and then I've been trying to sort out internet problems at home. Finally got internet again this morning after a week, pretty much. Went out Monday morning, and it's now Friday, and I've only just got it back this morning. We couldn't even talk into all the internet providers and everything. They couldn't work it out, so they actually went back to the line people. Over here, all the fibre system is run by one company in New Zealand. It must be like a I don't know whether it's a part of one of the major ones or not. I'm not sure, but it's all the fibre networks run under this one company. So they must have really looked into it overnight and yesterday, and yeah, finally was frickin' working this morning, which is good. But yeah, I'd like to know why it wasn't working. But anyway, so been using that Robilo body filler on these doors. I started off with using that Evercoat Z grip. It just won't go off. It does, and once you get rid of that gum off the top, it's okay. But even I was just cleaning up the board I mix up the body filler on, that plastic board, and it's got quite a bit of body filler built up on it. And every now and again I just run over it with the DA and just knock all the high spots off. Well, I haven't used the Evercoat for, I don't know, probably 3 days, and it's still coming off. The residue that's left on that board from mixing it up is still gums up on this. It's okay, like the stuff that's already been sanded and you've broken through all that top layer on the doors is fine. But yeah, that gum should have gone off the top of it. You shouldn't be sanding it and filling your paper out like that. So yeah, if you're in low temps and you're doing a bit of body work, it's not that cold, but it's not that fucking hot either, if you know what I mean. This morning we were probably only 3 or 4 degrees above freezing. It's not ideal, but the sun's out. It's on the panels and whatever. It's not too bad now. Now it's like the sun's actually come up and whatever. But that Robilo body filler, once it's gone off, it's fine. I'm not knocking it off when it's still just green, because it is struggling. But if I leave it just an hour or whatever, you mightn't have to leave it that long, because I've had to go away and do other stuff and try and sort out this internet. So, but every time I come back, 2 or 3 hours later, it's fine. I can just knock it off. Doesn't fill the paper up or anything like that, which is awesome. Yeah. Whereas otherwise, it's an absolute fucking pain in the ass, that other stuff. Every time I used it, you just fill a piece of paper up or fill that net up, and you couldn't get it back out to use it easily, if you know what I mean. Whereas the Robilo is fine. In these cold temps, it's fine. Whereas the Evercoat, I don't know if it's just that Z grip or what, but yeah. I'm definitely, at this point in time, I'm sticking with that. As I said the other day, I think in a video clip, I've got to go through some footage. I will, obviously, I'm going to put up some more footage. We're recording, yeah. So the screen had gone dark, I couldn't see. But, yeah, I come across the U-pole stuff where you said I'd used the glazes before. Actually, not long ago, I actually threw out the packet from that, I think. But from the Rapid Glaze. But I wouldn't mind just trying a tin of their body filler just to see what it's like. These gold temps would be a good time to test it, if you know what I mean. Probably not on this job, but yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea just to test, just to see what their body filler's like. It's always good to have an option just in case, say for some weird reason I go to get that and I can't get it. I've got an option. So yeah, I'd like to see whether it is available down here or not. It's meant to be available at one of the shops down here, so I'll have to go have a look one day. I don't have an account with them, but at least I can go in and go have a look anyway and just see. But at this point in time, I'm absolutely sold on that stuff. It's great. It is. It's really good. I wouldn't mind trying a coat of that Rage Gold just to see what it was like in this temperature, just as another option, because I know that Rage Gold was good too. But yeah, so far every time I've used that Robolo body filler, it's been absolutely awesome. I think that's my third tin of that I've used so far, and yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, you can just, once it starts in half decent temperatures, once it starts curing and it's still a bit tacky on top, it'll just shred off with that net paper, and it'll just pull all those top layers off, get rid of all the junk that you don't want. And then you can, by that time you get through it, and then just leave it for a wee bit longer, and then you can just sand it and you're basically smooth within pretty quick time. Otherwise it's hard work. It really is, but I've got to leave it a bit longer at the moment. But we'll carry on and we'll give you a bit of an update at some point today. Hopefully, yeah, I can get some frickin' might be able to get these in primer before the end of the day, maybe. I've got this other bonnet to spray too, so I might have to try and see if I can figure out some way of laying that out and give it a scuff back and lay some primer on that too, get it ready for a top coat at some point. So it probably wouldn't hurt just to throw a couple of coats on that and just block it out, make sure it is straight. Anyway, we'll carry on. Oh, it's cold when you got to stand outside of the shed because you just can't get enough heat in there and pain in the butt. But anyway, we'll keep sanding, block this down a bit more. Just have to fill a couple more little patches, just a wee bit extra fill, but hopefully we'll get most of it blocked off and then we'll be able to see. But it still needs a little bit in there, a little bit in here, just a couple of little patches there. I'm not sure over here that might stand out. We'll get it down close and then we'll give it a mix with some black or whatever and just see what else it needs. We'll give it another fairly good block off with this. That's the worst thing with this weather. You get all these little bits and pieces done, and then you, I better mix up a little bit more and put it on. Then you frickin', because it's so cold, it takes frickin' ever forever to go off. So anyway, we'll wait for this to go off, and then we'll check it again, probably again in the morning. I might come down here maybe later on and just have a wee nose, but I've just had to shift everything back in. Sun's disappearing on me. Alright, we'll catch you later on. Right, welcome. Got the diesel heater going, so I'm just, once I get the door closed, I'll start warming up in here. Actually, I'll close this door and we'll open the little side door so we get some heat in here because it's fucking cold. I'm hoping to get these panels finished, mudded and blocked out today, and we'll just see how we get on, and try and get this new bonnet test fitted and get it to open and close on this old Hilux out here. And then I'm hoping that I can work out enough ways to lay these panels out to prime them. Obviously I'll have to scuff this thing and make sure it's straight, like it's a brand new panel, and they were okay, but I'm not sure if it's genuine. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether it's a genuine one or not. If it's genuine, it might be pretty good, but if it's not, it could be a little ripply. We'll see. I don't think it'll matter if it's not dead perfect, but the old Hilux here with that you'll see in the background here, it's a little bit worse for wear in the front. It's called a big tractor and a log splitter, apparently. But anyway, so this is actually popped, but I can't get into it. I'm probably going to have to cut part of the bonnet away so I can get in there to get it released, to get it out, and to get it up. Take it off, and then put the other one on, and make sure we can get everything to close and shut and whatever, and get the catch on, and get all that sorted first, and then we'll whip it off, and we'll sit this one back in the hole, just in case the weather happens to turn. It should be okay, but like, yeah, who would know? Yeah, talking south from New Zealand here, like 4 seasons in one day is quite possible. So yeah, so we need some heat so we can get the rest of that stuff blocked out, and hopefully any last little bits of glazing putty or wee bit of filler and whatever, once I've hopefully knocked all those doors down, doors down, and then we can test fit this bonnet hood, make sure it opens and closes, do any tweaking here. I'm guessing, I might be lucky, I'm guessing the radiator support panel on that could be pushed back a little, so we may have to just wrench on it and pull it forward till we can get the to open and close nice. That's why we need to test fit that. There's no point painting it and then trying to put it on here and trying to frick around with it. I'd rather frick around with it, bolt it up, make sure everything fits, and then we can give it a scuff and whatever. Like I won't even sand it or anything. We'll just get it on there with the black undercoat, whatever it is, the epoxy sealer, I guess. Yeah, get on there, test fit it, make sure it opens and closes fine, and work out any kinks or bugs here, just in case something is bent in the front. It's possible. It does open and close, but it just, because it's bent down at the front, it makes it very freaking awkward to get in there. So if we can get that to release, and yeah, and then we can test that on, and then we can get it, hopefully have everything all scuffed down, and we can blow a couple of coats of primer on that if it needs it. We'll put a little bit of, maybe touch of filler in here or there or whatever. We'll block it out with one of those acrylic blocks, and we'll just see where it's at to give it a good scuff up. We'll just rip it down with some Heidi, give it a good scuff up, see where it's at. If it needs a little bit of scooch of filler here or there just to blend it out, and then we'll pour a couple of 3 coats on that, and we'll get a heap on those doors. inside and outside. Whether we get that all done today or not, probably not, but we might better get a chunk of it done. Yeah, and then we can order some colour for that bonnet. It should be easy enough to get a paint coat off there, but we'll rip a piece off the bonnet, we'll cut a piece off the bonnet, and we'll take it in just in case there's a variation. You know, they can tint it up to the factory colour, and then they can maybe swing it one way or the other, just in case it is a wee bit. You know, it's a, I don't know, 20-year-old, 25-year-old vehicle, whatever it is now. I'm not sure. I think it's an early 2000 Hilux with about 500,000 Ks on it. But yeah, it's a good old work truck, so it keeps going. It's been well serviced, but yeah, we're going to get this new hood on it. So yeah, temps coming up in here already, so that's cool. So yeah, we'll better scuff these doors back. Hopefully I got them to the last of them now, and we'll close to it, and we'll get a heap of ply build on them, and then we can block out and we can really tell if there's any other little bits and pieces we need. At least to get them ready to blow some white on them at some point. I'm hoping that I maybe hear back from that guy, or this week, from that guy with that. I posted it up now with that amphibious truck. I haven't released the video completely because I've got to go through and sort some ads out. I was having problems skimming through the video, just wouldn't skim through to click the ads in, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, I've got a heap of other footage too that'll be full that I have to work through and just see what I've got an overlaps of. So I haven't really looked at it too hard over the last few days. I've sort of flagged a little bit. I'll start making these videos again now, get myself all sorted out. But yeah, we'll get some primer on these doors, and hopefully today, and maybe on that bonnet, you know, because I just want to prime the whole lot at once if I can. Do another panel stand, but we'll work something else out to paint. I don't care if I have to use one of these little tables as a stand, or maybe double up the doors. I don't know if I can double up the doors, but I might better use one of these wee tables over here or something. We'll work something out and put it on anyway, at least one way. So yeah, now that the temp's coming up, we'll better sand here without being freezing, and we'll get into it. Righty, so yeah, it's definitely not genuine. So this is the brand of it. I don't know if these guys were around when years and years ago, when Dad had the second-hand car parts business. We used to buy a few U panels off them, obviously, for whatever we had to for some of the local panel beaters when we were supplying parts, you know, second-hand stuff and new stuff and whatever. And we'd buy a bit of stuff in. I'm not really sure where it's come from. I'll come have a look on the pack and slip later on. But I'm actually quite impressed with the quality of this bonnet, or hood. It's actually pretty goddamn straight. Like normally they're a bit, well, I'm talking 25, 30 years ago, they were a bit, well, they were pretty good, but normally you'd look across them and you'd see a few little ripples and waves, and these are odd little one in this, but geez, I don't know if I'm going to stress too much. Like, it's got quite a sheeny sort of semi-shiny sort of coat on it, so it gives you a good idea of what it's like. I don't think I'm going to frickin' stress too much. Like, there's a little bit of shit up here, so we might better just, by the looks of that, with a bit of a block with some high build. But I don't think the rest of it's fucking worth worrying about, if you know what I mean. Like, for what it is, there's a little bit of a mark here. I don't know, might be just, there could be a minor pressure mark there from, we had the, had these foam corners on it. And that's actually one thing that I've improved. Like, I've been out of the game, this game, for 30 years, 25 years. But they didn't used to come with that sort of stuff. They used to come with the just the white styrofoam corners, and they would blow out. Whereas this stuff here is really solid. So you'd always end up with a corner damaged or something like that, because in travel, you know, they get banged around a bit in the white styrofoam. Not always, but you know, if it had a decent drop down or been just banged down really hard, it would split the styrofoam, then these panels would hit the deck, where it was bubble wrapped and then had those on it as well. So yeah, it was well protected, and I'm quite impressed with the like, haven't fitted it yet obviously, but I'm quite impressed with just because at this point, with a bit of a gloss, semi-gloss like that, you can actually see whether it's half decent or not. And I think with a couple of 3 coats of high build and a quick block out, once we give it a scuff and just obviously pick up anything else that looks like, yeah, it might just need a little bit around the front sort of type of thing. Yeah, you can just see where the folded over edges, you can see just a little bit of distortion in that and stuff like that. But geez, for a truck of this age, you know, it doesn't have to be dead perfect. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. So we'll just have a wee double check, make sure we have got the right thing. Let's make sure, because I can't remember what it looked like. Because it's for a 02 to 03 Toyota Hilux 4-wheel drive. So let's just have a wee double check out here, make sure we do have the right one. That is the critical thing. Excuse me. Good thing I got editing, eh? Yeah, actually definitely the right one. I wasn't sure if it had these bits in it. It's in better shape than this one was, and it already had a few dents and marks in it, so. Yeah, what is this? Yeah, 2003. Yeah, double cab. Oh, not, yeah, double cab. Yeah, 3-litre turbo diesel. SR5, so it was the higher spec back in the day. But yeah, she's a bit stuffed. Oh, that's good. Looks like she's the right beast. We've just got to get this one off and get all the shit off it. Give her a couple of quick coats of primer and scuff her back and paint her burgundy, I guess. Just got to try and get the fucking bonnet open and get it off. Because that is, like I said, it is popped. I just don't know if I can get my bloody hand in there to pop it, because it would normally be in here, so we might have to, I said, maybe cut some of the front away. Anyway, I haven't seen the owner yet this morning. I'm not too panicked. We'll ask him whether he's actually had it open or not. I was hoping that radiator support isn't just shoved back too hard, if you know what I mean. It shouldn't be too bad, but it might have been pushed back a little. Hard to tell. It looks okay, but until you get the other one on, you're not going to know. And on this hood, on this door, I've just got to put a little bit of putty in here and here before I prime it. So this one's basically ready to go. I just want to do these scoots on here. That's why I shifted out of the road so I could use that for that bonnet, hood, whatever you want to call it. There. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's pretty straight. But you just about scuff it and prime it and then shoot it. Might move it out of the way of the heater so the heat's not direct on it too much. It's not bad though, it's not hot. It's blowing underneath it more than anything. But yeah, paint it, put all the bits on it. Hope she's good. I don't think I'm going to get too stressed. A couple of coats of primer and we'll just block it out. If we find any little marks, we'll fix anything that looks half bad, but looks pretty fucking good to me. Just looking around it, I don't see much wrong. I don't see much wrong at all. Nothing worth stressing about. Just a wee block out in the edges with a wee bit extra eyeball. It's about all it needs. Well, with something like a lot more modern and tidier, you know, you might get a little bit more fussy, but it's pretty fucking good. Right, so we've got a few more issues than just a bent bonnet and a broken grill. The radiator doesn't hold water. Apparently they towed it home. Well, not towed it home, they brought it home on a trailer. Trailer at home. So, yeah, look. Hopefully you can see the light. So I'm going to have to strip the radiator out of it and the aircon core, whatever you want to call that. This has been pushed in. The piece on the bottom of the grill, that middle bar doesn't matter, here somewhere. There's a middle bar that goes underneath the grill. I've got to straighten that up, it's all bent. Looks like the bumpers might have been pushed slightly maybe. Probably just leave that, we'll just see. If it gets in the road, we might have to give it a couple of wallops here with a block of wood and just push it down. Doesn't look too bad. For other reasons. It might have been, it's been pushed in there. Might see if we can, might be able to pull it out somehow a little bit. Just take a wee bit of paint off so it's not getting up here. But this is all going to come out. So, like it's going to look like this side. Apparently there's a new grill for a heater too somewhere. I'll put another radiator in it because it's there's some water out at the top. And this will probably have to be replaced too, I imagine. Yeah, I didn't realise it. I thought it just caught the top of the bonnet, but no, obviously got the whole sort of thing and pushed it all in. Headlight's actually right, I think. Like it doesn't appear to be anything broken on it, so you might have got away with that. Like it's not, but it hasn't broken the lens or anything, and it doesn't look like it's smashed anything in the back, from what I can tell. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's meant to come out like that or not, but it's been a while since I played with this stuff. So anyway, we'll get the radiator and that out of it. This will have to be straightened up, and then we'll, once we get all this shit off it, we'll whip the hood out of the road. At least I can take it inside and strip it, and then we can probably bring the other one out and just test fit it and make sure it closes and locks. And You go from there, I guess. This is something else I've got to try and straighten up. It's the little filler panel that goes below the grill. So yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to, once I get it sort of straightened out, it won't be too hard to beat around and put a little scooch wee bit of filler on it, and then do a couple of test fits, make sure it does fit, and paint it. So that shouldn't be too difficult. There's not much point in buying a new one, I don't think. Probably wouldn't be very dear, but it's not going to take me very long. Well, it shouldn't take me very long to straighten out. Once I get it back out in that L shape, it should be reasonably easy to beat back into submission. Right, quick update. My hands are really dirty, so I can't really carry on with this. I haven't really got any way to clean my hands properly. So I got a little bit of filing to do on some filler on that last door that I hadn't really got to. I haven't done anything with that at all. But I've got... earlier on I hadn't got the radiator out, so I've finally got the radiator out of this thing, and I've picked up the tools and whatever. I have to have a hunt around the ground for a couple of nuts and bolts. I've got some antifreeze on the ground. I try to catch it, but it's like all these stupid things, all the trays and shit in the road stop from frickin' catching. There was a bit of water left in it. It's, I think it's just mainly leaking at the top. I don't know whether that can be repaired or not. Most of these things don't repair very well because they're plastic tanks. Now, I know it was pissing out through here somewhere. When I put water on it, it just hosed out. So it's obviously been flexed or twisted. And the other one's there too. I didn't actually realise it was still holding gas when I let the line go on it. Probably will see it in the video, you may not, but spewed a whole heap of gas. But I just thought, with this being so bent, it probably wouldn't have been frickin' holding, but it still was. But anyway, so got that there so you can get that sorted, get another radiator for it. So yeah, I've got that out, and I've got that front piece half ply straightened out. Got that half ply pulled out instead of being punched in. That's now pulled out. Obviously I'll have to get all the frickin' straw and shit out of here. We'll test fit the headlight back, and then once we'll get that bonnet out of the road tomorrow, well, at least take it off, so I can take it in there, strip it down, get all the under tray and all the windscreen washer stuff off it and whatever. And then we can test fit the other one on there, get that closed, make sure this shit lines up. Get that other little panel straightened out. I've got to get a broken bolt out of there, which is a pain in the butt. So I might have to take the bumper off it. I was hoping I didn't have to, but yeah, it's got a broken bolt in there. So we'll have to find a couple of wee bolts. Between me and Dad, I should have something they can put down there. Worst comes to worst, I'll just drill it out and I'll put a frickin' one of those, what do I call it? Riv nuts in there or something. Or I might just drill it out and be able to re-tap it and clean it out. So that's cool, but yeah, as soon as it started undoing it, it sort of like undid, and then it just went snap. So whether I was undoing it or wasn't, I was only using a crescent or a spanner, I can't remember. There's the grill, so we've got another one of them. That's the other line for here, so I might just sit that. I'll sit that in the car, truck, whatever. Just so that's can be put back on. All the headlight and whatever. Just a bit of a freaking mess here, it's just full of tools. That's alright. But yeah, so I'll get that sorted. I'm about to get at least test fit that tomorrow. But I was going to do some more sanding. I thought my hands are covered in like cow shit and freaking whatever else is underneath that from, because he owns parts of a couple of farms and dairy and whatever else, so just does a lot of fence maintenance since he's got whatever in digger work and tractor work and whatever, so on those farms. So yeah, we'll get that test fitted tomorrow. And hopefully I've got these doors finished up. Did a little bit more sanding. I got this one here I've got to sand back off, make sure I'm happy enough with it. So here I've got a couple of bits and pieces to knock back from some putty that I haven't even got back to, and then hopefully we're good with that one. So yeah, once I get this test fitted and I've got these finished, I'll get some primer on them, and at least then they can go from there, and we can get some paint for that and paint it and get it on and get that out of me here. And hopefully I'll hear from this guy with this amphibious truck duck from 1940, whatever it is. See whether I'm going to be working on that, and I'll try and give this so the guy with this I'll try and give this guy with Rambler another message and see if I can find out what he wants to do. So if there's any chance we can look at this bloody thing, I want to know where my next lot of money's coming from, if you know what I mean. The lights are off. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to have to go do something else and then come back when I've come back to do more stuff when I've got more work to do, if you know what I mean. Because I need some income from somewhere, because I'm not really getting paid for this. This is paying for the rent for the building, if you know what I mean. Which is not ideal, but at the moment. But anyway, we'll catch you later on, and yeah, I'll start doing some editing. I haven't done any editing for a couple of weeks. I put a video up, but I haven't finished sorting that out. I'll do that tonight when I get home, probably. Yeah, I have done quite a bit of footage, but we'll throw a couple of videos together, or a video together. I might try a few different things now too, but yeah, hopefully we can get some paying work back in. The only reason why I'm finishing Dad's doors is to get them in the primer, because I just want to get them to that point, and then we'll work on getting them painted at some point for him and whatever. I want to try and better do that where it doesn't cost them. Anyway, we'll catch you later on. Cheers. Morning, guys. So welcome back again. So I've got these doors to finish sanding back. Hopefully get some primer on the stuff today if I can. We're going to scuff that bonnet. I had a couple of brackets here to straighten out for that front of that car, or ute, Toyota Hilux. And then there's a couple other things I want to do in there. I actually want to get in around the front and give it a wash with pressure washer, give it a blasting around there, get rid of some of the dirt and shit off it. and test fit some of the headlight bits and pieces back on, make sure that all lines up. I'm not sure. He said he's got a grill for it here somewhere too. I don't know whether that's here or over at the house or what might be coming. So I'd like to test fit some of that stuff on. Hopefully I can test fit that bonnet on. I'm not sure. I'll just have to see how the weather holds. It looks like it might fight me a little bit today. But I think what I'll do is I'll finish sanding these doors, get them sorted, and hopefully I don't have to put anything else on them. I think I've got the last of it. It's the worst thing with frickin' body fuller. You know, you sand and get it down half and it's like another little frickin' line, so you gotta put a wee bit in there and a wee bit in there and a wee bit in there. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, one day I'll learn a trick how to frickin' avoid that, but I don't know. If you put it on twice, you put it on 4 times, if you know what I mean. Normally by the time you get to the 4th time, you're only just putting little skins on here and there. But, oh man. Pain in the ass, but anyway. And the glazing putty's good too, but that can be a pain in the ass as well, because you know, you mix up another little batch and sand it out, block it out, and oh frickin' still a little bit low on that piece. And it's frickin' another piece there, and wait for that again. But anyway. Yeah, so we'll get that sorted. Hopefully we can get that all straightened up and get these panels primed today. At least then we can sort out some paint. But I haven't had a chance to sort that yet, and whatever. So yeah, we'll go from that. Righty, so I've got the grill here, so let's have a quick look at this. Let's see how that piece fits. clean up and smear some mud across that end. A couple of coats of primer, paint it at some point. Next couple of days. Righty. I've got this bit all stripped off and I just put a screechy body filler right across the front because it had a few dings and nicks and whatever in it. So I blocked that off once and I just put another little thin layer on it while I was still screwing around with this friggin' door. I had I put a patch in here. This is one of the early ones I did, I think. I had just a little high spot in here in the steel. I just frickin' couldn't get it to sit right, so I just got my little, not ideal, but I just got this and I just gave it a few sharp taps around where it was sitting up high to try and pull that down. I just put it, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 little just shallow dings in it to suck that piece down. I didn't really want to. If I could have got onto the spot a bit nicer and screwed one with a hammer and dolly and shrunk it, I probably would have, but just to try and get this done. So I can get some bloody primer on that. I haven't worried about it yet because I haven't worried about scuffing it down because I'm not happy with this door. I think I've got everything else pretty close. Close enough now, I think we're pretty good. I'll have a double check before I prime them, obviously. That's pretty good. This feels right. Now I'm pretty happy with that one. Spot these down a bit. When I put a bit of body filler on the other day, but I just knocked down enough. But they're probably alright until before we're going to prime it, because we're going to put a few good layers on it, block it out and prime it again anyway. So I'm just trying to get to the point where I'm not feeling anything weird going on. So we get a decent build on top. You know, block her out, whatever. So yeah, it's the only door that's been giving me issues. Hasn't been too bad, but it just, it's like one of those things you put a bit of, really I probably should have just fucking skimmed the whole thing. I'll end up spreading further and further and further out just to try and get it to smooth out. I had a bit of a funny spot when I did too. We'll end up just building the floor up here because it seemed to be wanting to be, repairs in that corner or something. I just can't remember. I know we did some repairs in here somewhere, I think, but it must have pulled some of this wire or something. I had to keep pushing the body filler up to that corner. It didn't look that bad, but by the time you block it out and get it right, and yeah, just, I guess, it is what it is, if you know what I mean. So you had to lower this piece, and this just a few other little spots I just wasn't 100% happy with. They just felt a bit lower or whatever. When you run your hand over, just couldn't quite get that nice smooth transition. I was always like a couple of funny lumps, and I had a bit left over, so I just did it while I was doing that and filling this. Just spread a bit more out and put a wee bit more in that corner. So I'll just block it out again using that net. Shit, that stuff's good. We're just about to change that one. Still quite sharp, but it just, when you get a real fresh piece, man, she just tears it off. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, we're pretty close. So yeah, at least I got those pieces sorted out and I got that piece fixed. At some point, yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll get that bonnet off, and we'll probably get the stuck prime tomorrow. I don't think we'll get it primed. I might prime it tonight, we'll see. I've still got to scuff all this and prime them on the inside. We'll see. No, I might prime them in the morning because what I'll do is I'll get it nice and warm in here. We'll turn them all over, prime them all on the inside, and then I can muck around checking the headlights and bits and pieces and that stuff for weather's good, and then I can flip them all over later on and prime them all on the outside. It doesn't matter too much. I think that's the plan. Right, battery away, run away for the day. So I've got that off. Test fitted that. It fits good. It's going to take bugger all jiggling to make it, just to get it square and hole. Basically lined up the hinges with the marks, with the bolts back in it, and basically fitted perfectly. It's just going to come forward. It's just a sneak on the other side. So I've got all these turned over. I'll give that a scuff in the morning, and we'll get all these primed. I just flicked a bit of rattle can each on the back of those other two doors. I hadn't etched them properly in the inside before I started putting body filler on them. So I've done that just with the rattle can. It'll be fine. I've done it plenty with the other bits and pieces. This stuff works quite good. So yeah, I've got that other little piece. I just flicked a little bit of etch on the inside and outside of that. Just over the primer as well, over the body filler, just to get a wee bit of look. So we'll get some primer on this stuff in the morning. Do the undersides obviously first. Give that an hour or so to cure off. I'll flip it over and we'll do the top sides. So yeah, all I've got to do is scuff that first thing in the morning and crank the heater up and get it nice and warm here. So that's cool. I think we're on the home stretch, and then we'll just, yeah, hopefully we'll have maybe have the radiators and bits and pieces in the morning, so we'll throw that back in as well. And if you're wondering what the weird noises are over there, it's young deer just being weaned. I thought it was like gulls or seagulls or something, but it's not. It's them. I was like, what the frick is that noise? Anyway, I better go because I might get a phone call about this duck thing. Hopefully he just rang me before and I tried to ring him back and he went through his answer machine, so I better get off here just in case he rings me back again. Righty, we'll catch you later on.